Good morning. I will try to start off today by continuing where we left off last time. We are on chapter 6. This is the second video for chapter 6. As I told you, the book is focused on the perpetual method of inventory. So there are, as I've told you again, time and again, there are as in a merchandising business, there is a dual personality for you as a buyer and as a purchaser. You buy the goods that you sell, and you sell the goods that you bought. Now, let me start with your purchase transaction. With our continuing problem, Net Solutions. On January 3, Net Solutions purchased merchandise for cash. So, debit merchandise inventory, credit cash. It is always assumed na laging perpetual ang solutions natin at ang Net Solutions kasi because our book, again, as I've told you, is based on the computerized accounting system. On January 4, he again purchased from Thomas an account. So, debit merchandise, credit accounts payable. Bakit kinakabitan na ngayon ng name ng binilihan accounts payable? Because later on, we will learn the subsidiary ledger accounts kasi hindi lahat ng accounts payable sa isang tao o sa isang supplier. Same is true with accounts receivable. Hindi lahat ng tao iisang pinauutangan mo. Hindi lahat ng accounts receivable iisang pinauutang mo. Kundi nadaming tao. That's why you have to maintain a subsidiary ledger for the accounts receivable and accounts payable. A buyer may receive a discount from a seller. It is a sales discount for early payment of the amount owed from the buyer's perspective. Buyer kayo. Kanina, in the first video I taught you, tinuro ko sa inyo, yung N over 2 over 10, N over 30 as a seller. Buyer ka ngayon. Ang tawag dyan, purchase discount. So nakabili ka, bumili ka, at binigyan ka ng discount ng binilihan mo. Alpha Technologies issues an invoice for 3,000 to Net Solutions dated March 12. With the terms 2 over 10 and over 30. Naturo ko na sa iyo, 2% in 10 days, no discount in 30 days. Now, as a businessman, you try to figure out the cheapest way, kung ano pinakamurang paraan para makabayad ka ng iyong utang. Now, with this 3,000 invoice from Alpha Technologies, inisip niya, kung babayaran ko ito within 10 days or March 22, mayroon akong 2% discount. Kaya nga lang, posible na wala siyang pera. So, ang ginawa niya, umutang siya or inisip niyang umutang ng pera at ang annual rate of interest is 6%. Ngayon, kung umutang siya ng amount ng ibabayad niya sa March 22, mas makakatipid ba siya o mas tutubo siya? Let's see. Now, kung magbabayad siya noong March 22, ang discount niya ay 60. Ngayon, kung umutang siya ng 2,940, which is the amount that he should be paying after 10 days, ang babayaran niya interest ay 980. So, nag-decide si Net Solutions na umutang na lang kasi mas malaki pa ang kanyang matitipid kung siya ay uutang. Showing you this computation, umutang siya ng 2,940. Bakit 2,940? Kasi 3,000 less 60. So makakatipid siya ng $50.20 kung siya umutang. I hope you get it. So on March 12, meron nga siyang binili. Yan ang entry, debit merchandise inventory, credit accounts payable, Alpha Technologies. And on the 22nd, he paid in cash 2,940, credit merchandise inventory 60, which is the discount kabawasan yan sa kanyang puhunan, $60. Kasi naka-discount siya. Ganyan ang style ganyan ang entry sa perpetual. If you are the buyer, ha? If you are the buyer. Assume instead of paying the invoice, hindi na rin siya nag-umutang pero binayaran niya after 30 days. Ito ang babayaran niya. Debit, accounts payable, credit, cash. Ano naman ang purchase returns and allowances? Involves actual merchandise returns that is damaged or does not meet the specification of the order. Bumili ka, pagdating mo sa tindahan mo, mali pala o masasamayin na umort ng so sa oli mo yan. Ang tawag doon purchase returns and allowances. So you will issue often called the debit memo informs the seller. You will inform yung binilhan mo that you are returning this amount and this, katulad dito, this is an example, so Net Solutions receives a delivery from Maxim Systems, determines that 900 of the items are not merchandise ordered. Debit memorandum number 18 is issued. This is the example of a debit memo na ipadadala mo sa binilihan mo to inform them na mali ang iyong binili. Nagkamali or mali ang i-deliver sa iyo. Net Solutions records the return of the merchandise. Ano yung Maxim? Kanina yon. Meron siyang binili sa Maxim. Debit accounts payable. So nabawasan accounts payable of the amount that he returned, yung sinauli, and credit merchandise inventory, 900. On May 2, Net Solutions purchased 5,000. 2 over 10 and over 30. So debit merchandise inventory, 5,000. Credit accounts payable, delta, 5,000. On May 4, which is 2 days after, may sinoli siya. So, i-reverse mo lang yung entry. Debit accounts payable, credit merchandise inventory for the return of merchandise. On May 12, Net Solutions paid for the purchase of May 2. Binayaran niya after 10 days. May 2 plus 10, so may 2% discount. So, debit 2,000. Bakit 2,000 na lang? Kasi 3,000, 2,000 na lang. Kasi may sinauli siyang 3,000, di ba? Dito sa Delta no May 4. So, ang bali binili na lang niya is worth 2,000. So, ang di-discountan mo lamang ay yung 2,000. Okay? So, ang binayad niya is 1,960. I hope you get it. Ulitin natin. Bumili siya ng May 2, 5,000. Kaso, may sinauli siyang 3,000. So, in effect, ang binili lang niya 2,000. Pero after 10 days, from May 2, which is May 12, binayaran niya with the discount. So, 5,000 minus 3,000 is 2,000 na lang utang niya, less 2% discount. So, equals to 1,960. This is an example which is also in your book. Freight. Ito naman ang freight. If ownership of merchandise pass, kasi pag bumibili ka, depende sa usapan niya ng binilihan mo. Sino ba magdi-deliver o sino ba ang kukuha? Kailan malilipat sa akin ang binili ko? Ang tawag dyan ay FOB or free on board. Now, there are two kinds. Free on board, FOB shipping point, and FOB destination. Pag sinabing FOB shipping point, kung saan mo binili, mula doon sa binilihan mo, iyon na yun. So ang lahat ng gastos mula doon ay iyon na. As compared naman sa FOB destination, pagdating pa lang sa tindahan mo. Kasi kung halimbawa usapan nyo deliver sa iyo. So habang daan, ang ownership, ang may-ari pa nun ay yung nagtinda. So giving you an example sa free on-board shipping point. Okay. Mali. On June 10, NetSolution buys merchandise from Magna Data on account. Terms, FOB shipping point and pays the shipping cost. Kasi FOB shipping point, siya na ang may-ari mula doon sa tindahan ni Magna Data. Shipping point. Kaya naman, ang gastos mula doon sa tindahan ni Magna Data ay kay NetSolutions na. So, anong entry doon? Nagbayad pa siya ng $50. Merchandise inventory, 900. Credit accounts payable, 900. Binayaran niya, 50. Debit merchandise inventory, 50. Credit cash. Kasi yung 50, karagdagan sa puhunan niya, sa binili niya kay Magna Data. Ano naman ang FOB destination? If ownership of the merchandise passes to the buyer when the buyer receives the merchandise. Kung kailan lang dumating sa tindahan ni NetSolutions, saka pa lang magiging kanya. So, ibig sabihin nun, ang gastos mula sa tindahan ng binilihan niya hanggang kanya ay doon sa nagtinda sa kanya. So, on June 15, NetSolutions sells merchandise to Krantz. So, siya nagtinda ngayon, ha? FOB destination. Si NetSolution na nagtinda. Ang usapan, FOB destination. So, mula sa tindahan ni NetSolutions hanggang sa Krantz, ang gastos ay kay NetSolutions. The cost of merchandise is 4,008. So, sabi ko nga sa inyo, pag nagtinda ka, dalawa lagi ang entry. May corollary. Debit, accounts receivable, Krantz, 700 credit sales, debit cost of merchandise sold, nabawasan ng merchandise, and credit merchandise inventory, 480. Kasi yun ang puhunan niya. At the same time, combo ang usapan nila ay FOB destination. Ang gastos mula kay NetSolution hanggang kay Krantz ay kay gastos ni NetSolution. Kaya naman, debit, delivery expense, nagbayad kasi siya, credit cash. Okay? Now, there are times that the seller prepays the freight. Giving you an example. On June 20, NetSolution sells merchandise sales to Planter Company on account. Terms, FOB shipping point. So, ang bentahan ay ang may-ari na mula sa tindahan ni NetSolution ay si Planter na. Okay? Kasi ang usapan nila ay FOB shipping point. So, sino dapat ang gumastos ng delivery mula sa NetSolution hanggang sa kay Planter? Si Planter kasi FOB shipping point. Kaya nga lang, may usapan sila. Sabi ni Planter, yung magagastos, pakidagdag mo na lang sa invoice sa singil sa akin. So, ganon. So, anong entry? Debit accounts receivable, 800 for the sale. Debit cost of merchandise sold. Credit merchandise inventory, 360. And debit accounts receivable Planter credit cash. Kasi inabonohan niya ang expense ni Planter. Para at sisingilin na niya. So, ang pautang na niya kay Planter, 845. Now, giving you a an exhibit on simple example or simple explanation. Pag FOB shipping point, mula sa seller, title passes to the buyer dito pa lamang sa tindahan niya. At pagdating doon, ay kanya na yon. So, at ang FOB destination naman, habang daan, ang pag-aari at ang gastos ay para sa seller at magiging sa buyer lang yon pagdating sa kanyang lugar. Cute, no? Okay. Now, this is another example. Letter A, merchandise, 4/5, freight paid by the seller, FOB shipping point, ha? 1/10, 8/100. So, sa letter A, ang babayaran ay 3,863. Bakit nagkaganon? Kasi may sinuling 800. So, 4/5 minus 800 less 37 plus 200 kasi FOB shipping point na inabonohan ng seller. Medyo nakakalito ito sa umpisa pero madali ito matutunan. Ito naman sa 5,000 sa letter B, ang babayaran lang ay 2,450. Bakit? Kasi 5,000 may sinuuling 2,500. May discount nung after 10 days times 2%. Ang $60 ay gastos delivery expense ng seller kasi FOB destination. Now, in your book, you have this Exhibit 11 where you debit what, you credit what, and on what account. So yung blue, when merchandise is returned to you, yung black, yun ang magkakabit na entry. At yung green, yun ang magkakasama entry. Now, sa Amerika, como itong libro natin ay made in the US, lahat ng bilhin mo, kape, sigarilyo, candy, pagkain, ay may sales tax. Dito sa atin, VAT. You will learn it in your higher accounting, yung taxation. Meron kayong taxation dyan. At I will not delve more on the taxes. Our concern here is how to account for the taxes. Kasi pinapatong mo yung tax, pero hindi iyo yun. Yun ay para sa gobyerno, which you have to pay the government. Katulad nito, sales taxes. Ang binili ay 100 sa iyo. Pero sisilin mo 106 kasi meron sales tax payable. Yung sales tax payable, pag naipon at the following month, isosoli mo, ibabayad mo yung sa bangko. Kasi on the regular basis, halimbawa ito, naipon mo 2,900. The following month, which is September, kasi August yun, tatanong nyo, bakit sir naging 2,900? Kasi naipon na yan sa iba't ibang customers. Debit, sales tax payable, credit cash. Babayad, ibibrimit mo sa gobyerno yun. Kasi obligasyon ng may tindahan na magpatong ng buwis at ibigay, i-remit sa gobyerno. Now, when wholesalers offer special discounts to certain classes of buyer who order large amounts, yun, malakihan. Ang tawag dyan, trade discounts. Now, ito nga sinasabi ko sa inyo, the dual nature of the merchandising transaction. Each merchandising transaction affects a buyer and a seller. In the following illustration, we show you how the same transaction would be recorded by both the seller and the buyer. So, halimbawa, seller at sa buyer, ito ang entrada niya. Scully sold merchandise to Burton. Terms, FOB shipping point, and over 45. Ano ibig sabihin nun? So 45 days, walang discount. 7,500. The cost of the merchandise was 4,500. Sa books ni Scully, itong entry niya. Debit accounts receivable, 7,500. Burton. Credit sales, 7,500. Kasi on account, ha? On account. Debit cost of merchandise sold, 4,500. Merchandise inventory, 4,500. Ano naman sa books ni Burton? Debit merchandise inventory kasi nadagdagan ng kanyang inventaryo. Paninda. Credit accounts payable, 7,500. Si Burton nagbayad ng transportation charges, 150 on July 1. Kasi, ano usapan? FOB shipping point. Pag FOB shipping point, pag alis kay Scully, ang may-ari na ay si Burton. So, ang entry ay wala kay Scully kasi wala siyang gastos. Pero si Burton, debit merchandise inventory, credit cash. Kasi FOB shipping point. On July 5, Scully sold merchandise on account to Burton. 5,000 terms. FOB destination. So, habandaan, ang may-ari ay si Scully. So, siya ang gagastos. And over 30, dapat bayaran within 30 days, pero walang discount. The cost of the merchandise sold was 3,500. Sa books ni Scully, debit accounts receivable, Burton, 5,000. Credit sales, debit cost of merchandise sold, 3,500. Credit merchandise inventory, 3,500. Burton, debit merchandise inventory, credit accounts payable, 5,000. So, the cost of walang gastos si Burton. Pero walang sinasabi na may gastos sa delivery. Ito na yun. Doon sa i-deliver ng July 5. Ito. Nagastusan si Scully kasi FOB destination, transportation 250 para ma-deliver kay Burton on July 5. Debit delivery expense, 250. Credit cash, 250. Kay Burton, no entry kasi FOB destination. Now, Scully, July 13, Scully issued Burton credit memo for merchandise. May sinuli si Burton. The cost of the merchandise returned was 700. Anong entry sa Scully? Debit sales returns and allowances, 1,000. Credit accounts receivable, 1,000. Debit merchandise inventory, 700. Credit cost of merchandise sold, 700. Ano naman kay Burton? Debit accounts payable, credit merchandise. Kasi sinoli niya yung binili niya. So nabawasan ang kanyang utang and at the same time nabawasan ang kanyang inventory yung binili kasi nga mali. On July 15, Scully received a payment from Burton for purchase on July 5. Ano ba yung nangyari doon July 5? Balikan natin. Bumili siya 5,000. Ha? No discount yun. Okay. Debit, cash, 4,000. Kasi nagsauli ng 1,000 kanina, di ba? Yan. Credit accounts receivable, Burton. Debit, accounts payable, credit cash. Kasi nagbayad si Burton. Scully sold merchandise on account to Burton Company, 12,000. FOB shipping point, 2/10. And EOM. Anong EOM? End of the month. So, dapat bayaran ni Burton sa July 31 kung walang discount. Pero after 10 days, July 28, may 2% discount siya. Kaso, FOB shipping point. So, kanino dapat ang gastos habandaan? Kay Burton. Kaso, sabi ni Scully, sige, abonohan ko na muna ang gastos. Ganun. Papautang ko sa iyo yan, ha? The cost of the merchandise was 7,200. So, anong entry? Debit, accounts receivable, 12,000. Credit sales, 12,000. Debit accounts receivable. credit cash. Debit cost of merchandise sold, 7.2, and credit merchandise inventory, 7.2. FOB, shipping point. So, ang gastos na ay kay Burton. Kaya nung abonohan ni Scully, pautang niya yon kay Burton, yung 500. At si Burton naman, debit merchandise inventory, 12.5. Kasi yung 500, karagdagan yon sa puhunan niyang binili kay Scully. Credit accounts payable. Scully received payment for Burton for purchase on July 18. So July 28, less 2%, 12,000. Debit cash, 12,260. Credit sales, debit sales discount, 240. Credit accounts receivable, 12,500. At kay Burton naman, debit merchant accounts payable, 12,500. Credit merchandise inventory kasi yung discount ay kabawasan sa kanyang pinamili. And credit cash, 12,260. Okay, I hope you review this kasi yung dual nature of the merchandising business is a bit confusing at first, and I hope you will review it more. Okay. This is an example in your book, transaction for buyer and seller. So it's almost the same as Scully and Burton. This is an exercise, and you will be able to figure out what happened here. Now, we now go to the adjusting and closing process for merchandising business. Meron medyo konting diferensya, pero konti lang. Merchandising business may experience same loss of inventory due to shoplifting. Siyempre, meron minsan nawawalan, ninanakaw ng empleyado, kinukupit ni Benji sa nanay, yung paninda, yung candy, yung coke, joke. So, at the end of any accounting period, you need to count kung ano yun kung ano ang iyong inventory. Whether you're using periodic or whether you're using perpetual method of inventory. Kasi for you to compare, kung talaga nga bagang, kasi yung nananakaw na empleyado, nakakain ng daga, hindi yun na-record sa computer. Diba? So, what happened here? If the balance of the merchandise inventory is larger than the amount, pagkabilang mo, at ang binilang mo yung mas malaki ang nasa computer kesa sa actual na binilang mo, ang tawag doon is shrinkage. This is an example. Nung bilangin ay 62,150. Pero nasa records ay 63,950. The difference is inventory shrinkage na kailangan mong entradahan. Kasi wala na yun. Hindi mo pwedeng i-maintain sa book ang wala na. So, what do you do on December 31 at the end of the accounting period? Debit cost of merchandise sold, so expense mo na yon. Credit merchandise inventory. So that's one of the adjusting entries which you need to do at the end, every end of the accounting period to check if there is inventory shrinkage. Ang susunod yung tanong, Sir Bak, paano kung mas malaki naman ang inventory kaysa nasa computer? Ay, meron kang maling ginawa doon. So, babalikan mo yun. Meron kang maling recording doon siguro. Or either meron kang delivery na hindi mo na i-record o mali ang iyong recording sa iyong computer. Yan. Now, yung closing entry. Debit each temporary account with the debit. So, reverse, close the revenue account to your income summary. Kapareho rin ng dati. Yun sa service business. Close all revenue accounts to your income summary. Close all expense accounts to your income summary. Close the balance of your income summary to your capital. Close the drawing to your capital account. Sir, ano pagbabago nun? Kasi makikita nyo dyan, later on, merong lulutang na, kasi yan na, yan, net income. Now, yung merchandise inventory end. Kung periodic ang inyong ginagamit. Kung periodic ang inyong ginagamit. Pero kung perpetual, wala nang diferensya sa natutunan nyo. Kasi pareho rin yan. For all revenues, close all expenses, close the balance of the income summary to your capital, and close the capital to your close the drawing to your capital account. Ayan. Now, kung perpetual method of inventory ginagamit nyo, walang mababago kasi automatically yung merchandise inventory mo ay balansyado, ay updated. However, if you're using the periodic method of inventory, which is often used by small businesses kasi they cannot afford to buy accounting software, yung merchandise inventory mo will have to be updated. Kasi bibilangin mo at the end of the accounting period, may diferensya yun. Mag-e-entry ka doon. I'll show you later on. Now, ano naman to? Anong ratio of net sales in evaluating a company's performance? This is the last learning objective here. The ratio of net sales to assets measures how effectively business is using our assets to generate sales. Gaano kagaling mong nagagamit ang mga assets mo para makabenta ka. And the formula is this: debit ratio of net sales is equals to net sales over average total assets. How do you compute for that average total assets? Alam nyo na ma-compute ang net sales. Cash sales plus on sales on account minus sales returns and allowances minus sales discounts is equals to your net sales. How do you compute for average total assets? Beginning plus ending divided by 2. So, tulad niyan, for 2009, net sales niya is 4,645. Ang beginning year mo, 1,788, 2,036. So, on average ay 4,645. Your ratio is 2.43 and for 2008, your ratio is 2.32. Alin mas maganda? Mas maganda ang 2009 kasi you produce $2.43 for every asset that you have, $1 asset that you have, as compared to 2008 where you produce only 2.32 sales. Tatandaan nyo lang yung mga formula kasi magagamit niyo yan in your higher accounting. Yan pa. Yan. Ito naman ang periodic method of inventory. We have discussed extensively accounting for merchandising business using perpetual method of inventory. If you encounter problems on periodic inventory system, these are the entries. Ito mga entries. Now, this is how you compute for your cost of merchandise using the periodic method. Meron kang account na purchases. So pag may nakita ka sa chart of accounts na purchases, purchase returns and allowances, purchase discounts, and freight in, ibig sabihin nun, periodic method of inventory ang gagamitin. Ginagamit ng problem na yan. Remember that, ha? Meron din siyang merchandise inventory. Meron diferensya niya sa closing entries. Pero ito mapapadagdag sa periodic method of inventory. And this is how you you compute for your cost of merchandise sold. Yung beginning mo plus purchases kasi lump yan kasi nga hindi mo minomonitor ang inventory. Pero yung beginning mo 59,700, meron kanyang bilang. Ending of the year 2012 and beginning of 2013, 59,700. Pagdating ng December 31, bibilangin muli. So, yun ang magiging diferensya nyo. May diferensya 59,700, 62,150. You deduct purchase discounts and returns and allowances and add freight in. Freight in. Pag FOB, destination, may gastos iyo doon, di ba? And for you to come up with available, di ba? Beginning mo ng taon, add mo yung pinamili mo, pati yung other gastos, bawas yung discount, is equals to your merchandise na available na paninda. Isipin nyo. Beginning kong paninda plus pinamili ko plus yung mga gastos para mabili ko, pinamili ko, minus discounts at ang mga isinauli ko, ay ang total ng aking paninda for the year. Pag ibinawas ko ang inventory ko nung katapusan ng taon, ibig sabihin, ang diferensya ay yung aking napabenta or your cost of merchandise sold. Hope you get it. Ulitin yung video para hindi kayo malito. Now, again, as I've told you, pag may nakita kayong ganito sa chart of accounts, purchases, and this itong mga nakapula, ibig sabihin, periodic method of inventory ang ginamit at ang ginagamit ng problem na yan. Purchases are of inventory are recorded in the purchase account rather than in the merchandise inventory. Hindi sa merchandise inventory mo nire-record ang pinamili mo. If you're using periodic, purchase discounts are normally recorded in a separate purchase discount account. The balance of the purchase discount account is reported as a deduction from purchases for the period. And returns are recorded in a similar manner as purchase discount. Freight in, when merchandise is purchased FOB shipping point. Ito nga sinasabi ko, pag the buyer pays for the freight under the periodic inventory system, freight paid when purchasing merchandise FOB shipping point is debited to freight in. Tandaan nyo sa perpetual, pag ikaw nagbayad ng delivery charge ng freight, debit merchandise inventory, karagdagan yon. Pero sa periodic method of inventory, you have a separate account, freight in. Yan. These are examples, comparison of each transaction if you're using a periodic and or if you're using a perpetual inventory system. Yan ang comparative. So I hope this is a good exhibit for you to review para makuha nyo ng husto ang totoong diferensya ng periodic inventory system at ng perpetual inventory system. Again, our book is using is focused on the perpetual inventory system. Nasa libro to, ha? Now, closing. Itong kakaiba. Pag end of the month and you're using periodic method of inventory, etong entry mo. Debit, merchandise inventory, the ending balance, 62,150. Ito yun eh. Yun, 62,150. The ending, ide-debit mo. Credit, debit, sales. Siyempre, sa sales ko. Debit, purchase returns. Debit, purchase discount. Credit, rent revenue. Credit, income summary. May idadagdag ka lang sa close, di ba? Ang unang-unang entry sa closing ay close all revenue accounts to your inventory, to your income summary. Idadagdag mo lamang itong merchandise inventory, purchase returns, kasi ang balance nito ay credit. So, ide-debit mo. Close all expenses to your income summary. Kasama yung beginning balance mo 59,700 na merchandise inventory. Ito yun. Yun. Okay, para ma-close. Okay? And close the balance of the income summary to your capital and close the drawing to your capital. Yun lang ang diferensya. Pareho rin, lahat ng debits, i-close mo sa income summary. Lahat ng credits, i-close mo sa income summary. Pero kasama dyan ang in merchandise inventory para ma-update ang iyong merchandise inventory account ending. At ang lalabas na doon sa post-closing trial balance mo ay merchandise inventory mo ay debit of 62,150. Kasi kinlose mo na dito yung beginning balance ng merchandise inventory. You review more on this. I cannot make it tomorrow. Merong gagamit ng Zoom Tuesday. Cannot make it. Likewise on Wednesday, cannot make it Thursday. I hope to have another class on Saturday, but I will try to send you assignment which you will not submit. Ang hiling ko lang gawin nyo ito on your own. Walang mali, walang tama sa umpisa. Ang importante sa akin ay ang proseso kung paano nyo in-approach yung problem. I will send you assignments which you will discuss on Saturday. Medyo puno lang ako this week again and I cannot make it for a synchronous class. I hope to prepare another video on chapter 7 which is I think it's inventory. Yeah, inventories. Nasa specialty na tayo. Specialized accounting na tayo. Okay, if you have questions, you can chat it to me. Likewise, sa 1A, kung kilala nyo si Lex Sanchez, sabihin mo pakilala siya sa akin sapagkat siya ay duwag. Okay, yun lamang. Good morning sa lahat. And I will upload this.